And so, as they say, into each life, some poo must fall. I'm paraphrasing. I may be paraphrasing. I ask forgiveness from the late, great Ella Fitzgerald on that one. Poo is just a funnier word than rain. But the maxim, it holds true either way you go. Poo, rain. Sometimes shit happens. This is all terrible. This is a terrible way to start this. No, but seriously, as they say, into each life, some rain must fall. And it seems to be that week for me. So, as you know, if you are a regular viewer of the vlog, earlier this year I accepted a full-time position as content developer, brand storyteller, all-around copywriter for an ICO marketing agency that specifically does initial coin offerings for companies or projects launching their own cryptocurrency. Everything was going along smashingly. And now it is my unfortunate duty to report that I will no longer be continuing in that position. I didn't get fired. Nothing went disastrously wrong. It was something completely beyond all of our control. I will explain what happened very briefly. The company that I worked for is based in Hong Kong. The office that they opened here, which is the office I was working for, was a new thing for them. It was almost like a startup within the company. We were building a really good roster of clients that I was enjoying working with, people with really like cutting edge technology, doing some really interesting things with blockchain and cryptocurrency. We just onboarded a big new client from Mexico that I was really excited about. And then in the last couple of months, things started to get a little hinky. There were a couple of times payroll was late coming in from Hong Kong, which is never a good sign when they're late paying you and they don't have some kind of backup plan in place for that. Then we found out our budget was being cut, which again, never a good sign, but we were determined to focus on building the clients we had and onboarding more clients and just racing as fast towards profitability as we could. And then last week, the hammer finally came down and the company announced that due to liquidity issues, they could no longer afford to finance or fund our office. So the office was effectively, that kind of did it right there. We were all, you know, no payroll, no company. To have a job one week and then not have a job the next week. Many of you have gone through that, I'm sure. It's never, whatever the circumstances, it's never a good thing. So first and foremost, before anyone panics, I'm fine. My wife, Nikki, and I are fine. Nikki is still gainfully employed, as she has been for the past 10 years, an immensely successful attorney in her own right. As with most freelance writers or authors who also have day gigs, I am like the busiest unemployed person you'll ever meet in your life. Like I don't even get to enjoy like the unexpected time off because I have so much other shit to do. I have the second draft of my new novel is due with my editor at Saga Press by the end of the month, based on her edits. I am finishing a new novel that my agent is waiting for. It's my first middle grade book, my first middle grade novel that I've written. He's waiting to take that out. I'm working on finishing a new pilot script because one of my big goals for the year was to work up this new pilot script that I've been wanting to write for literally years. But like my main goal with that, at the bare minimum, is I want to take that out and I want to get some new management for the screenwriting side of things. I have a fantastic literary book agent, but I'm out here in LA and screenwriting is something else I do, and I feel like I really need some new driving force there. So I'm going to be looking for some new management with this pilot I'm taking out, and I've got a lot of people helping me out there. So that's a big thing. I still got our Hugo winning podcast that I co-host, you know, on a theoretically bi-weekly basis or bi-monthly basis. The Ditch Diggers podcast, that's still going strong. So I have a whole other career and a whole other job that I'm still doing every day. All of that is going very well, better than it ever has been. Honestly, that was one of the best parts of this year, was, you know, advancing that forward. So we're cool. My wife and I are cool. But it is frustrating, and it is a setback, and it's frustrating on many levels. It's very frustrating, first and foremost, because like I was good at the job. I was really good at the job, man. I didn't know if I would be. I didn't know if this was a new world for me. I've done marketing before. I've worked for, Fox Studios. I've done movie marketing. I've done book marketing. But ICOs were an entirely new thing for me. I knew like virtually nothing about cryptocurrency when I started working here or working for the agency. And I really not in a braggy way, but like in a surprising to myself way, I really rose to the occasion. I really did. I did really good work. The clients were immensely happy with it, happy with me. They liked working with me. They liked the stuff I came up with for them. My boss, the team, everybody really, really enjoyed my writing and my content and my ideas, and we gelled really well together on that, and, played off in design and all the other departments, and we really created some amazing, I think within the context of what we were doing, some amazing things. And I feel like I not only, kind of rose to the challenge, but I feel like I exceeded what was expected of me, which is, which is what you're always trying to do. And this is what I was trying to do. Even though I'm an author and I do all these other things and I'm still a freelance writer, I took this job very seriously. I really did. I wanted to be successful at this. And I feel like I was, and I feel like we were. We did the job that we were hired by our clients to do, and I think we did it very well. And it really sucks for that to like not seem to matter in the end. No, but it sucks to just do the best you can and deliver and feel like you did your part and have it all go to crap anyway. Like, to have it just be totally beyond your control, like, that part is really frustrating. I'm having a really hard time dealing with that, and that really does suck. The other part, obviously, is the financial part. Even though Nikki and I are going to be fine, we were really looking forward to, like, banking my new book deal with Saga, just banking all that and using it for our retirement and putting it into the house and really getting ahead. That was a big goal this year, was to really start getting ahead financially after, buying the house and getting married, and a very expensive last year that we had. And, barring making some new deals and barring me, getting a new gig, which I'm absolutely going to be, I'm already looking for. I've been applying since last week when I found out. But, that we might not be able to do that, and that sucks. We had all these plans, and now this is affecting that. And just for me personally, it's I'm trying to take it in stride. Again, there was nothing I could do about it. I know there'll be other gigs. I know I've got other stuff going on. But to be perfectly honest, like, Nikki and I are starting to talk about having kids. That's something we might actually be trying to do next year, if we can both work up the nerve. It's still a terrifying prospect to me. It's something we want, but, like, that's like a whole other vlog. I don't even want to get into it. But here's the thing, like, that's something that's been on my mind since we got married, because we talked about we were going to take a year off because last year was very heavy with lots of life changes and lots of big stressful things. We're going to take this year off of big stressful life choices, and then next year we were gonna look at the kid thing. And so I kind of had that clock in my mind, and a very big thing for me is, like, I want my wife, if and when she gets pregnant, to be able to take as much time off work as she wants and not have to worry or stress about anything. That's like a huge, huge deal to me. It's been a huge goal in my mind since all this stuff became real and we got married, and, we were really talking about doing this. And, because of where we live and because of what I do, like, it's very expensive to live here. Freelancing and everything can be very inconsistent no matter how well you do at it. Like, that was a very up in the air goal, and I was feeling like I really was getting a handle on it between having this job and all of my freelance stuff. I really put together a career path, like, that was going to lead to me getting to a place where I could accomplish that goal and feel good about it going in, and being like, I'm ready to do this. I can totally take care of things. She wouldn't have to stress about it. Nikki's never going to be able to sit still. Like, she will eventually have to do something. But it is important to me that she has as much time as she wants. And because this country fucking hates women, like, just does, on a governmental, systemic level, there's still no federal protections for, like, or guarantees for new mothers and maternity leave and all that crap. And the burden is still on her and on us. So Unless I can do that, she's going to have to turn around and go right back to work, and I just hate that idea. I hate it. Like, I feel like it's not like a masculinity thing, it's just a partner thing, man. It's like she has to grow and give birth to the child. Like, it has to be that way. So, like, my end of the thing is I need to be able to, like, facilitate that and take care of it around it. So, that's something that's, like, really been weighing on my mind since last week, since I found out about the job. But, anyway. Moving right along to, because I know you're all amazing people, and many of you are friends of mine, or readers or whatever, and I know the first question is, are you going to be okay? And that was why I answered that. The second question I know you're going to ask is, what can you do to help? I know you're that kind of amazing people. Forgive me if I'm taking that for granted, but I expected that would be the next question. So I thought I'd just address it here. There are several practical things you could do to help out in this situation. The first, easiest, and most effective is buy my shit. Like, that's it, man. Like, go buy my books. If you haven't picked up all the Sin du Jour books in paperback, that would be an amazing thing to do. The final course, the Kindle omnibus of my final 4 Sin du Jour books, that's still coming out on the 19th of September, very soon here. It's up for pre-order right now. If you haven't pre-ordered it, but you have all the Sin du Jour books, you can go get that. It's new. It's for the Kindle. It's at a reduced price for what you pay for all the books together. That would be amazing. RENCOR, Life in Grudge City, my other novella, my Lucha Libre Buddy Cop novella, which I love very much, that I did with my friends from Parts Unknown Publishing. All of those things, the Sin du Jour books, RENCOR, the final course, go buy them. Go buy as many of them as you can. Encourage your friends to do the same thing. That's money in my pocket, man. That's real income that I can really use right now. So that is the first and foremost thing you can do. You can also support the Ditch Diggers podcast, my Hugo-winning podcast that I do with Mer Lafferty about the business of writing, business education and advocacy for writers. You can go support that on Patreon. Become a patron of the podcast. Drop $1 in every month. Every time we do a podcast. It's a cheap way, and it really adds up to money in our pockets. And the better the Patreon does, the better we can do with the podcast. So you're serving a lot of functions there. You're helping us do more and better episodes. You're helping me out in a time of slight need, and you're supporting business education and advocacy for freelance writers, which freelance writers desperately need, because we have none of that. You got everybody who'll tell you how to write, and nobody who can tell you how to handle the business of writing. So those are 2 real concrete ways you can contribute. You can buy my books, support the podcast Patreon for Ditch Diggers. I'll have links to all of that in the description below this video. You can go check that out, spread the word. I'd really appreciate it. If you can't do that, do not worry about it at all, man. You've got your own issues. Like, again, we're going to be okay. But if that's something that you feel strongly about, or you wanted to find a way to contribute, that's the best way to do it. The other thing is, I am looking for a new full-time gig again, as I was last year. If you're hiring, I'd love to work for you. If you know someone who's hiring, I would love to work for them. If it can be written, I either can write it or have written it professionally. I guarantee you that. Any kind of marketing. I've worked in, obviously, many fields: ICO, film, podcast, books, retail products. I have, one of the cool things about doing this job was I acquired a bunch of new knowledge over the past 9 months. I have 2 new certifications in marketing that the company paid for me to continue my education as a marketer. Learned everything about ICOs. Like, my game is tight, man. I've got a lot of new really cool material for my portfolio from the past 8 months to show around. So got all that going for me. So if you have anything in the marketing milieu, I'd love to hear from you. I'm also obviously a storyteller. So if you have anything narrative based, like game writing, would love to do game writing, video games, tabletop games, RPGs, love all of that. Have experience in all of it to varying degrees. Would love to get back into that. Of course, my first love is television, so if you happen to be watching my vlog and staffing a television show, I'd love to work for you, too. Odds of that being very slim, but I thought I'd mention it, as that's my ultimate goal. So yeah, if you know of any opportunities you think would be good for me, shout them out in the comments. Email me at matt@matt-wallace.com. Hit me up on Twitter, at matt-wallace. And I always appreciate the hookups or just letting me know about opportunities that are out there that I might have missed. those are all the things you can do to help out in this unfortunate situation. But again, I'm going to be cool. I'm going to be cool. Nikki and I are going to be cool. Don't stress, but I do appreciate the thought and consideration. That's going to be it for this week, folks. I'm sorry this was a somewhat downer of an episode, but that's what's going on in my life. It's kind of heavy, looming heavily and large right now. Wanted to let y'all in on it so you understand my vibe on Twitter lately. I know it's been a little dark since last week. Now you know the reason why. Appreciate you sticking with it. Please do like, share, subscribe, comment, all that jazz. Click the little bell so you know when I put out new videos, which I do every week, which are not always downer videos about me losing a job. But we'll get back to some fun stuff next week, I promise. In the meantime, thank you for all your support. I know you're always there for me, and I really do appreciate that. I will see you next week. Same Matt time, same Matt channel.